are you? Do you recognise this place? I was only here a few days ago. Yep, I'm back in Macclesfield. What the bloody hell are you doing back there, I can hear you say? Well, it's a long story. Sunday, I was meant to go for a walk yesterday, but I had a headache. So I thought I'd come for a bit of a walk today. And trains to Gloucester are still out of order. Terrible. And that's my favourite place to go, to be honest with you. That's 30 minutes away. So I jumped on the train to Macclesfield again, and I'm going to do something that I've wanted to do for ages. On the journeys that I've done to Buxton in the past, I've started on something called Macclesfield Old Road. So there was actually an old road that's now just a dirt track. Go and check out my other video. Cart track, basically. It heads up the hill away from Buxton towards Macclesfield. But I always turn off and go down past the reservoirs, Fernley Reservoir, etc. Today, I'm going to try and trace the old route of Macclesfield Old Road. Or, seeing as I'm actually in Macclesfield, maybe it should be called Buxton Old Road. Who knows? Lovely to see the cherry blossom out. And this is where we're heading. A537 it is, I think, outside of Manchester. No, Macclesfield, heading to Buxton. Did you see that sign? 11 miles! Bloody hell! And that's on the main road. I think I've got my work cut out for me today. Good neck. 11 miles. It's going to take me hours. Is this what I think it is? Yeah, I think it is. The canal. I was meant to go on a walk on this. Heads all the way up into Manchester, in fact, via Macclesfield Bridge, which I've been to several times. So this is where it turns up. Nice, and I wonder where it goes after this. Who knows? But it continues down south towards Birmingham, actually. I know that there is a network down towards that area. Lovely, very picturesque. And lovely that side too. Obviously some kind of boat moorings down there. And aptly named the Puss in Boots. No, it's not aptly named, is it? I thought it was called the Canal Side. Just Canal Side Garden. There we go. Puss in Boots. Some lovely looking buildings in Macclesfield. Really is obviously quite a lot of history here. There's a nice looking one down there as well. It looks more modern, to be honest with you. But still very well constructed. Goodbye Macclesfield. Further on down in the valley. Wow, that was quite a steep climb out of there. And some dark clouds amongst the blue skies. But now I'm going to swivel around and look at this signpost here, which, if I'm right, I think that's where the Captain Fiddle Pass A537 goes off to the left. And I think I'm going to go straight on towards Teg's Nose Country Park. I think that's the start of the old road. Yes, it is indeed. I'm on track. There's some lovely houses around here. Like gingerbread cottages, those, lovely. And the rain's starting to come down. You can see from those clouds over there that blue sky is being punctuated by some very ominous looking clouds. It's getting much colder and windier as I get up towards the tops. But look at that long parade of cows on the horizon, top of the hill. Proper in the countryside now, and as I pan round, you can see all the way down into the valley where I've just come from, down in Macclesfield Basin down there. That's a nice novel use of an old-fashioned milk churn, isn't it? Oh, I'm glad people just still put these things to use. And some very grand properties up here. How the other half live, eh? Unusual tower on top of that hill over there too. I wonder what that is. Zoom in. Whoop. And this climb up out of Macclesfield is relentless. Just keeps on going. Blimey. Good work for me calf muscles, I guess. And from what I can tell, it's up all the way still. Lots of cars on this road. Very busy and no footpath, which is posing a little bit of a problem. But I'm used to it. I'm just hoping that as I get to the top of this hill in front of me, woo, and that it's not a false summit. Look at those clouds, man. Fucking hell. Some peaks over there in the distance as well. I don't know. I mean, it could even be Wales right over there in the very, very distance, which I don't know if this camera will pick up very well. But yeah, some lovely countryside around here. Really is like James Herriot country. And I just really surprised I saw a pair of jays just now. They flew away too quickly over into that pine forest before I could get the camera going, but lovely to see them. I've not seen jays for donkey's years. So I nearly made a big mistake and went up that road there. It just looks like the right kind of angle, but a quick look at the sign and it said Road Car Road. I thought that's not right. So always good to check your maps. Broad car, not road car. That'd be stupid, wouldn't it? Road Car Road. Broad Car Road. And Buxton Old Road continues up this way. Well corrected before I went miles out my way. What a happy little fellow he was. I swear, if I ever get to the top of this blasted hill, I'm gonna have a cup of tea. Oh, it's relentless. I hope I don't have to go down again and then up again. Oh. Good fun though, good to get some oxygen in your lungs, clear out all the cobwebs, and it'll be even more rewarding when I finally get to the top. We seem to be getting towards something called Tex Nose Country Park. Lots of walkers, obviously some proper footpaths and stuff that people are following. And it is a Sunday, so I guess all the Sunday strollers are out with the dogs and the family. Hopefully that's why the cars are so busy this side as well. And I'll once I get past it, it might calm down a bit. Indeed, there it is, Tex Nose Country Park and Cafe. I shan't be going in the cafe though, here, as much as I like a cup of tea. What a rip-off that you have to pay as well. It's not really making it accessible for the poorer people of the world, is it? And it's obviously over there, the country park. I don't know what exactly it is. Forest of some kind, I think, and I think Macclesfield Forest is nearby too, so perhaps they're all linked up. It's an unusual addition to a dry stone wall. Can you tell me who's through there? Because I can't bloody see. And another fairy tale cottage. Look at that. It's a lovely one, isn't it? It's got its own little pond. What a lovely place to live. I've reached a top. I don't know if it's the top. And slightly snivelly and out of breath. But always, as always, rewarded with a fantastic view. Look at that. What's really nice is to see hills and valleys that I've not seen before. And what an open, lovely open vista that is, with fields and forests. That's obviously It could be Macclesfield Forest over there, although I might stand corrected and it's actually the Tegno's Country Park thing. Because Macclesfield Forest did look a lot bigger than that on the map. But lovely. And I think a little way down here, somewhere in that little dip where that white house is, I'm going to have to join the main new road from Buxton to Macclesfield. I think that's where they join together, and I'm on the main road for a bit, but who knows, might be a bit of a path. That's a lovely little chapel there, isn't it, in the middle of nowhere. As you said, there's an annoying car came past. Yeah, that's lovely, that little cute little thing. Methodist Church, Walker Barn Methodist Church. Wow. And it's amazing that such a tiny little place still has services Sunday 6 to 6:30. Ah, isn't that lovely? I wonder how many people go over. He's just talking to himself. Look at that up there. Can you see that up there? I don't know if I spotted that right or not. What does that say? 1565? Can't be right. Must be 18, surely. Well, I'm going to have to look up when I get home. I'm guessing, yeah, it says Wesleyan. I thought it looked Wesleyan. Elected by voluntary contributions. I'm sure it's 1863, actually, but I'll check when I get home. And as I walk up to this, what's obviously quite a busy junction because it's the main road connecting Buxton and Macclesfield. Look at these lovely little cottages here. This reminds me of the kind of buildings that there were in Somerset, in the little village that I talked about the other day, where my mum and dad had a spar shop. I mean, it must be noisy living on a main road like this, but oh, aren't they cute? Well, you wouldn't believe it, I'm joining the main road now, and you can see it spiralling off down there into around the corner on the left of that hill. I'm nearly at the top of this little bit, but I just took a glance over my left shoulder and looked down into the valley, that new valley over there, and wow, I mean, I'm going to very joltily zoom in now, and there's the Manchester Valley over there in the distance. Hazy, a little hazy today. If I just try and zoom a little bit more, you can probably get to see some of the tower blocks, there we are, of the city centre. The same ones that we saw from the other walks the other day, from a completely different angle. So we must be about the same distance away, I reckon, because that's the quality the phone picked up then. The tower blocks of Manchester City Centre. And it's difficult to keep it steady at this kind of zoom, but just to show you how far away they are. There we go. So just in case you wondered where we are today, let me show you. Oh, not another tunnel, surely. No. Is it a pineapple? No. It's the Peak National Park. Welcome. I just spotted down by the side of the road here this lovely little flower, which I'm sure I saw last year, and Mum identified it for me. Unusual flower with unusual little leaves. There's another example. It is almost like a pineapple or something growing out of the ground. Mum, what is it? So, top of the hills here, and the speed limit is 50. That's interesting. People aren't doing 50 though. I think people are still doing more like 60, 70, some more than that. You can see just a lay-by here on the top for people to pull over, maybe have a snack, cup of tea, and look at the state of it, guys. Look at the state of it. People obviously just park here, have some beers and some McDonald's, and rubbish just gets chucked right out the window all the way along. Look at it all. That's just disgusting. What kind of human beings are we? Hey? Look at the rubbish. I don't have to keep walking all the way along. All the way along to the end. Terrible. Well, nearly at the top of this bit, and to Buxton, I'm going to guess it says, and then the number of miles is just fallen into disrepair. I'm going to guess it's something like 7 miles or something like that from here. Who knows? So I think the main road there continues off to the left, and although not signposted as Macclesfield or Buxton Old Road, I'm guessing that this is it. I can't find it on the very limited map that I've got on my phone, so I'm going to take this way. It's called Anchor's Lane or something, but I'm presuming that this used to be the old road, or at least this is what I'm going to follow. It looks about the same sort of distance as going the other way, and as you can tell, I'm dry, so I'm going to stop for a cup of tea. And look at all those birds in that field there. I wonder what they are. Any ideas? Just a whole flock of little birds. Can't see what they are. They're very scared, so they're running off, but the camera doesn't get close enough to them. Are they some kind of migratory bird? Where are they? There they are. All running off. No idea. Guys, meet my flatmate. I'm sorry. Rest in peace, my friend. Whatever you used to be. A rabbit by the guessings of it. Hey guys, how you doing? Look, I'm sorry to bother you, but I was just, do you know any good cafes around here? I'm parched. No? Okay then, thanks anyway. I know I keep going on about the views, guys, but it's just phenomenal the way you can see right down there into the Manchester Valley, more than I've ever been able to from any of the other places. And the little specks of Macclesfield over there in the distance, I can see for miles. It's just incredible. I don't think you'd even get this in mountain ranges, you know, like Snowdonia or the Lake Districts, because there just isn't that flat vista unless you're on the edge of the range. I'd love to know just exactly how far I can see. Probably Liverpool over in the distance. Just incredible. I'm taking it all in now because I don't know if or when I'm going to be able to get any better views than this. And there again is Manchester over in the distance. Unusually pointy peak over there, isn't it? I wonder what it is, whether it's a particular... It looks quite high as well, to be honest with you. I'll have to find out what that is when I get home and put it on the screen. There's another top to climb another day. Just love finding these fairy tale cottages. Look at that. Love to live there. Lots of little tiny rooms. So cute. maybe it'll be cramped, I don't know, but it's quite a big place, isn't it? So, yeah, somewhere with a bit of character. Oh, you really know springs here, don't you, when you see your first lambs? And I did actually see some the other day on the way from Macclesfield to Stockport, but they were just from a distance. And you really know springs here, don't you? You see little lambs wagging their tails and begging mum for some milk. Oh, so cute! See you on my plate in in about a year. So the road bends round to the right here, down towards that little valley ahead of us. But then I think it must do a sharp left again and head straight up the hill. So you can just about see it snaking its way over there in the distance, through the tops of the peaks there. So I'm guessing I'm going to be heading up there in a bit. So I'll save myself for that. Try and have a little bit of a snack and a cup of tea before I get up there, so give myself some energy. And hopefully, I think there's like an inn or something on the way, or at least some tea rooms, so that might be welcome. I love the way the sunlight is filtering through the clouds and casting some beautiful colours on the side of that mountain over there, one with the nipple. Can you see what I can see that's piques my interest? Yes, you're right. There's a little stream down there. I'm going to go and wash my hands before dinner. But also, Stanley Arms. Looks like a Marston's pub. I'm going to have a pint, aren't I? Stanley Arms, with luxury ensuite rooms available and delicious looking and sounding food on the menu, decided that I ought to have half a pint of Wainwright's Bitter. If you know, you know. Stanley Arms. So right down there I was just now having a cheeky half a pint, and very grateful of it I was too. It wasn't tea and food though, was it? And one last glance at this glorious set of valleys that I've come through as I head up again. Uphill, and this windy road that hopefully at some point will turn into the old road and be devoid of traffic. But gonna save my breath, less talking, more walking. What are you looking at? Stop looking at me. Oh, I think I'm nearly at the top. Quite an ongoing steep climb. But I'm feeling good, feeling on top of the world. Literally, and beautiful scenery, and I'm looking forward to the next port of call, which I think is some kind of tea rooms up at the Cat and Fiddle. So I'll let you know when I get there. But look at these guys, just amazing. And I didn't bring my mic with me, so you probably played with loads of wind noise. Oh, but it's good. It's good to be alive. And according to my map, this is the Peak View Tea Rooms. I might see what they have to offer, but I have got my own tea and food, so I'll see if they've got any benches outside. I'm glad for some food. Oh, it's so blowy up here. I can see for miles and miles. It's amazing. Just around the corner here and over in the distance. Can you see what I can see? Let's have a zoom in. I think that's the very thing. That's the very place I'm going to have lunch. I sacked off the tea rooms, got my own tea. But I think that is the Cat and Fiddle Inn. And if it's open, I'm going to have another half a pint, because it's Sunday, why not? And eat my lunch. Forest Distillery. Never heard of that brewery before. Let's see what it's all about. Cat and Fiddle. Hello. Cajun chicken breast grills. Thanks Sainsbury's. Let's see what these are like. I don't normally buy chicken when I don't know what kind of farm it's come from. They say 100% British, but it's probably factory farmed. But these are very tasty. Juicy, even. And often, I try and stay away from chicken breast because it's too dry. Very nice. Cat and Fiddle was a bit of a disappointment, by the way. Looks more like it's more of a brewery and a shop with tables that you have to reserve for the bar. So, suck it off. Bit of lunch and then onwards to Buxton. Try and pick up this Macclesfield Old Road at some point. So after some welcome chicken breast Cajun style-y, come to this fork in the road, and I think my turning is to go left here. This takes me down. It's a road as far as a car park, Derbyshire Car Park or something it's called. And the main road continues over to the left and over into the distance. I can see the cars hurtling down it. So I'm glad finally to be turning left here. I'm making my way down what initially will be Tarmac Road, and then eventually just the remains of the old road. I feel like I'm making progress now. This is good. And of course, something that's just struck me as I'm traversing this very windy, up and downy road from Macclesfield to Buxton, is just how windy and up and down it is. And because I've been going past on the tarmac, even on the tarmac road, some of them have been struggling with the hills, you know. So back in the day, going by horse and cart, you know, this was the main route between two very ancient towns, as I discovered the other day on my walk that started in Macclesfield, a very old town, going back all the way, you know, beyond the Doomsday Book, with a plethora of historical events throughout its history, and Buxton the same, you know, an old spa town. So there must have been quite a lot of through traffic between the two places, and all of it had to come over the Pennines, over these hills. and it's just incredible to think of horses and cars going through, not just during the spring now, it's cold and chilly and windy, but the sun's out, but just imagine what it would have been like in the midst of winter, you know, when vital supplies have to be got from town to town, and in the valleys it's going to be snowy and boggy and muddy and treacherous to get through, bitingly cold, wind on the top. It must have been quite a journey, and it's taken me pretty much all of the day to walk it, and I bet it probably took most of the day by horse and cart, or whatever other kind of vehicles that have used it before the new road was built. Descending now with this little brook to my left, obviously one of the early, the beginnings of the river Goit, which cascades down into the reservoirs, which I'm not going to go and visit today. I was half tempted to go and combine this walk with the reservoirs walk past Fernley and up to Whaley Bridge, but that was just, I'd be knackered and it'll be dark by the time I got there. So yeah, little tiny little stream here, and this will become the boring Goit that I saw on my previous Marble Bridge video last weekend I think it was. Very brown as well. The water is very brown from the iron oxide in the hills. So down to this little car park at the end, and just where you can see that camper van in the distance, that's where you can turn left to the reservoirs or carry straight on, and it really does become an old road then. It's not tarmacked at all, I don't think, it's just rubble. So, Buxton, here we come! Very handy map in this little car park as well, of the local area. You can see the reservoirs down there, Wood and Fernley, that side, sometimes, with Whaley Bridge here, Manchester over in the distance, and just to the other side of the peaks is Macclesfield, just around there. They've even marked the Cat and Fiddle Inn on it just here. Shining Tor apparently is the top bit of this. Very interesting. So the bit we're going to walk over now, which is this bit here, is going to take us onto the old road. Apparently this is called Goit's Moss. Lovely. And a little map there as well. Great. Just spotted these guys in the bottom of the information board as well. I saw loads of those. Do you remember earlier on, a big flock of those in the moor? What is it? Golden plover. Wow, that's interesting. Don't think I've ever seen one of them before. That's exactly what they were. Great. There's another bit to the information board here, which you can pause the video and read it if you like. It talks about the coal mining, which I've mentioned before, and the maps, the walks that you can do around here, the farming and the management. One thing that of interest though that sparked my imagination was the fact that this little car park is called Derbyshire Bridge, because it used to be the boundary between Derbyshire and Cheshire. It was moved in 1936. The Cat and Fiddle Inn, where we were just now, that isn't actually an inn, is where the River Goit starts on the moorland there, and apparently it's the second highest public house in England. Well, it wasn't very welcoming as a public house, more like a cafe, but there you go. I don't know about cars going up and down this. Difficult enough on foot, to be honest with you. So stony and pebbly, and I must have done a fair few miles already. My legs are starting to ache a little, and it's all good practice, I know, for the coast to coast, which I still want to do sometime soon in the next year or two. And I'm heading up there, as far as I remember, that's the last little incline until the top of the hill, where I then start heading back down into Buxton. I don't think there's any more hills after that, thankfully, from my prior knowledge. Up behind me, right on top of the hill over there, you can just see the Macclesfield Inn, and so let's head up there in 2 seconds. Whoop. Here we are. All I can say, Buxton, is you better have a train waiting for me when I get there. Struggling to walk down this bit. Gotta be careful in case I go over. I don't want my ankle going over. How on earth did they get carts up and down here? Steep gradient, just pebbly rocks, just it's unbelievable how they got any kind of vehicle up here at all. You'd struggle in a tractor. A smooth bit. Whew. Hello, my friend. What are you doing down in the bog? You're a handsome beast, aren't you? Having a bit of a drink or a bathe, maybe? Ah, what a handsome fellow. Or fellette, maybe. No point hiding, I can see you in there, just because I can't see your face. You're having a go as well, are you? Unusual breed, that, isn't it? What, the horns poking downwards like that, almost like a yak. Wonder what breed you are. And are you a girl or a boy? I think you're a girl, aren't you? Actually, I'm not so sure. It might just be a large, you know. Oh, you are a girl. I know they're your babies. Oh, aren't you so cute? Aren't you lovely? Actually, I'm not sure it's a girl, to be honest with you. The calf looks like a boy. And look at the other one. Can you see the other one? Oh, there you are. You're definitely a boy. Look at the nudges on that. Go on, my son. Go for it. Nice bit of interracial copulation. I bet you're both boys as well, aren't you? Dirty sods. Onwards home into Buxton. Comfort and High Peak Railway, and you can see the bank that I've pointed out in previous videos, where those two young lasses are messing around down there. As it sweeps round and then disappears into the tunnel, which you can just see over there in the distance, which took it under the farmland and the fenland and came out the other side. But that's for another video, from another video, so go watch that one. So the last 100 metres of the old road, Macclesfield Old Road as it's now known, because we're closer to the Buxton district, of course, and what a journey it's been. Tinges of sadness now as I reach the end of this trail that I've been on today. Of course, as with any journey, getting towards the end has its rewards, but also does make you think in retrospect what a lovely time you've had, and just being out in the countryside and exploring new places. And I'm very grateful to the weather for staying so good, and grateful to myself for forcing myself to go out and about and explore these places, and grateful as well to Dafty, you know who you are, for my amazing power bank, which means I don't need to buy one now. Great. It's still got plenty of bars on it, and charged my phone, and still has plenty of juice left in it. In fact, the brand is juice. I'll link it below. So yeah, I might make a few more comments as I come down into Buxton, but for the time being at least, bye. See you soon. Thanks for watching. It's a cute little post box, isn't it? Very old, that. It says GR on it, so I'm guessing that's George, when King George was... Wow, that's old. Wow. Enchanted cottage alert. Goodbye, Macclesfield Old Road. Thanks for having me. And now we join the 537 or whatever it was again, as it plummets into Buxton. Not before first having a quick gander through this churchyard, which is rather picturesque. You may remember from a previous video me sloshing through the snow through this graveyard. It's lovely, isn't it? Something very peaceful about graveyards, churches. Shortcut off the road, or it might be a long cut, who knows. I've often come down when I'm leaving Buxton, come down to have a look at this little river and this cute little bridge, and I know that there's a similar sized river that runs through the Pavilion Park that I come to in a few minutes near Buxton. So I thought I'd see if I can follow it and see where it goes. There's indeed a lovely little park that they've got going on around here. Lovely little river with little cascading weirs and waterfalls. Great. My estimation of Buxton has gone up, and this, I presume, goes through the bridge over there and continues on into the park. Let's find out. my favourite words. How enchanting.